What's happening, guys? It's Grizz, and welcome back for another episode of Kit Up, my weekly Battlefield series where you guys pick the weapon loadout you want to see me use, and I go out and get a gameplay with it, as well as do a little review. So on last week's episode, someone, and I'm really sorry about this, but I don't know what the username was, and I can't find the comment for some reason. I've noticed comments disappearing from my videos and stuff lately, and I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe Google Plus related, but sometimes I can find them and other times I can't, so I don't know. But back to what I was saying, someone left me a comment suggesting the PDW-R with a laser sight and a compensator only. So that is going to be my kit for today, and we are playing Team Deathmatch once again on Shanghai. And wait for it. Wait for it. Oh shit, get wrecked, fellas. Oh my goodness, the three-piece. And I just had to say something in chat. I usually don't, but hey, I've never been on the winning end of that elevator opening up into a 1v3 situation before, so yeah, anyway. If you have a suggestion for a weapon setup that you would like to see, make sure you leave it in the comments section of this video, and I may pick your suggestion for next week's episode. Alright. So the PDW-R is of course a PDW, so you can only play as the engineer class if you want to use this weapon, and that puts you at a huge disadvantage when it comes to playing team deathmatch and domination, in my opinion, which is usually what I like to play for this series because it features a lot of gun-on-gun action. But that's a topic for another video, I think. First I'll pull up the obligatory stat chart from simthic.com. So looking at the chart, you'll see that the PDW-R does damages of 25 high and 15.4 low. And old Pikey Prophet gets me here with the MGL. A fucking 8 Pikeys. But yes, so 25 high and 15.4 low, which is essentially the same as your standard carbine. And Gypsy Danger. God, am I playing against gypsies and pikeys? Great. Next thing you know, I'll have bought a caravan from one of them without realizing it. But yes, that's right. The PDW-R actually feels a lot like a carbine when being used at medium ranges, which actually makes sense because apparently the real-life version of this weapon was intended to replace some submachine guns and M4 carbines. And oh my god, Pikey Prophet. Alright, let's just bare-knuckle box already and get on with our day, shall we? Alright. But it has the most damage at range in the PDW class, tied with the UMP-45, and couple that with a moderate rate of fire of 750 rounds per minute, an amazing hipfire stat, and you have yourself one versatile little piece of heaven. Another noteworthy statistic here is the muzzle velocity at 460 meters per second, which also ranks second highest of the PDWs. That is really what's going to help out a lot when it comes to medium to long range engagements. But even though I seem to be praising it for its capabilities at longer ranges, the PDW-R is definitely no slouch in tight. The rate of fire is good, not P90 good, but good, and its hipfire stat is really great. So thanks whoever it was who left me that comment for allowing me to use the laser sight, because that made this thing even more deadly. But because of the design, you cannot equip a grip on the PDW-R, unfortunately. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that the PDW-R is the best weapon in the class, because obviously the MP7 is king. I've been working on a PDW guide similar to the assault rifle guide I made, so I've been using all the PDWs fairly heavily lately, and the MP7 is just so beast it's unbelievable. But we're not talking about the MP7 right now. I won't say that the PDW-R is the best, but I will say that it is one of the best choices for sure. The hipfire capability of this thing is actually remarkable, especially if you equip the laser sight on this thing. It just turns it into a hipfire machine, and that was basically my strategy once I figured out how much you can own people just by hip firing at close range. Heck, even at medium range you can still put hits on a guy if you want to help yourself escape a gunfight or something. At the very least it might put a little suppression on him, and might be the difference between you escaping that engagement or not. Now let's talk about this compensator business. I think the compensator is a good idea as long as you're going to be burst firing at all times, pretty much. There are exceptions, like when the guy is so close to you you could hug him, where it's not going to make a difference. But if you mag dump the PDW-R with a compensator or a muzzle brake on it, you're going to get bad bullet spread or deviation. Remember that the compensator and the muzzle brake increase stability, so that's going to reduce the recoil, but it also adds a penalty to automatic fire accuracy. So while the compensator does help out a lot, especially at medium to long range gunfights, you have to be burst firing pretty much all the time, even in close quarters engagements. But before you start groaning, that's not such a bad thing at all. If you've got good aim and you're burst firing this thing, it's still going to kill just as quickly as mag dumping at someone, because all your bullets are going to be hitting your target, not just every second or third one. In fact, you'll probably notice that you're killing faster when you're burst firing this thing, faster than you would with automatic fire, and that is no joke. So to sum up my thoughts on this setup, I think the PDW-R definitely does well having the laser sight attachment on it. It already has great hip fire statistic. When you put the laser sight on there, it just maxes that puppy out and turns this thing into a hip fire machine. The compensator at first I thought was a bit unorthodox, but I see now why the person who suggested this kit did so, because adding the compensator allows you to really take advantage of the PDW-R's great medium to long range capabilities. Remember that if you want to, you can play this weapon like it's a carbine, and as long as you're controlling your fire at range, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with how well the PDW-R performs. But also remember to be wary of the compensator when you get into those panic moments in close quarters. Try not to mag dump at people even if they are in close, because the penalty you get to automatic fire accuracy with the compensator can be a little surprising. If you keep calm and tap that trigger instead of holding it down, I think you'll find the PDW-R with a laser sight and compensator will perform well for you in almost any situation. So that is going to do it for this week's episode of Kit Up featuring the PDW-R. Remember to leave me a comment on this video with your suggestion for a weapon loadout. I just might pick it for next week's episode. And if you guys see any suggestions in the comments that you like, just upvote the comment, and if one of the loadouts seems, more popular than the other, I'll likely choose the highest voted for one. Also, follow me on Twitter, the link will be in the description. You can tweet suggestions for loadouts to me there as well. So if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful at all, please remember to show it some love by clicking the like button down below. And if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe to my channel for lots more Battlefield content, as well as future episodes of Kit Up. So thank you very much for watching, guys. This has been Grizno. Merci, salut, à la visite.